This movie might have some of the worst CGI ever put on screen. Let's do it. Jaws 3D opens up underwater and we see a great white shark attack a school of fish, and we see this very realistic looking fish head float towards the camera for an unnecessary amount of time because it's 3D, so everything's gonna be coming at you the whole time. We then cut to SeaWorld Orlando, which is this new attraction that's opening up, and we see the water skiers preparing. They're out in the ocean, and as they make their way into the lagoon that is SeaWorld, the gates open and we see a great white shark follow them in. Now, because of this, the gates malfunction, so the chief engineer is called on, and that is none other than Michael Brody. Michael is dating Kay, who is the park's senior biologist, and she notices that the dolphins start acting weird, which we know is because there's a shark in their midst. But obviously, nobody knows that yet. We then meet the park manager, Calvin Bouchard, who brings in his friend Philip Fitzroyce, who is like this knockoff Indiana Jones adventurer. And Philip's friend slash lover, I'm convinced, Jack. We also see Mike's younger brother, Sean, arrive to visit him for the grand opening as well. That night, one of Mike's employees, Shelby, goes underwater to repair the gate, but of course he's attacked by a shark. We don't see him actually being eaten by the shark, but we do see this very realistic arm floating towards the camera, so we know he's a goner. That night, Mike, Kay, and Sean go out for dinner, and Sean meets Kelly, and the two of them just immediately are into each other. Meanwhile, we see these two career criminals break into the park at night because they want to steal coral to sell. They're both just bumbling idiots, but they end up getting attacked and killed by the shark as well. So Mike and Kay are informed the next day that Shelby never came back, and they decide to go underwater because they think he might have gotten stuck somewhere. So they go down into the lagoon in this incredibly realistic looking submersible. As they're down there, of course they encounter a shark, but it's only a 10-footer. Before they're able to be attacked, two of the dolphins come to their rescue and take them away. So they tell Bouchard and Fitzroyce wants to kill it and put its body on display. But Kay has a better idea because she points out that there are no great whites in captivity and they can catch this one and put it in an exhibit. Calvin agrees with that because he's a money-hungry fuck. So Fitzroyce, Jack, and Kay go down and they manage to sedate the shark and capture it. And soon after, it's time for SeaWorld's grand opening. Calvin, without consulting with Kay, orders that the great white be moved to a different exhibit. Kay runs to the exhibit when she hears about this just in time to watch the shark go belly up and die. Meanwhile, we see that Sean and Kelly are still continuing their romance, and she convinces him to go out on the bumper boats. He's absolutely terrified of water, obviously given the trauma of 2 shark attacks on Amity when he was a kid. Now, the main attraction of the park is these underwater tunnels that people can walk through and see the sea life up close and personal. But as a group is walking through, they see Shelby's body floating by. So Kay and Michael go to examine the body, and after looking at it for literally 1.3 seconds, Kay is able to determine that the bite radius means that the shark in the lagoon that did this is a 35-footer. So she concludes that the shark that they captured was a baby and their mother is in the park. And when they go to tell Calvin, he denies it at first, but then they see it swimming at them through the underwater tank in this restaurant. Now chaos ensues because they run to the park and they try to alert everybody to get out of the water. Almost takes out the water skiers, but somehow they all make it. It attacks Sean and Kelly and bites Kelly's leg, but they're able to get her out before it kills her. And then it starts ramming into the underwater tunnels, causing them to leak. The thing starts to flood, which makes them in the control center close the watertight doors, which traps everybody down there. So Fitzroyce and his lover Jack come up with this plan that they're going to try and lure the shark into the filtration pipe so they can trap it in there. Fitzroyce manages to successfully lead it into the pipe, but then the rope that he is using to pull himself snaps and he gets stuck. And his body kind of just like levitates into the shark's mouth and he just swallows him whole. When they went down the first time, we learned that Fitzroyce had these grenades on him in case something went wrong, but he didn't have time to pull the pin before he was inhaled. Knowing that the shark is trapped in the pipe, Mike and Kay go down to fix the underwater tunnel from the outside so they can get the people out. Meanwhile, Calvin has no idea what the fuck he's doing or saying, tells the techs in the control center to shut down the pipe because he thinks this is going to suffocate the shark, but instead it breaks out of the pipe and proceeds to attack Mike and Kay. Dolphins once again come in and save their asses and literally fight the shark as they swim away. Mike and Kay get down to the control center and everybody in the pipe is evacuated. They're saved. But then suddenly this very realistic shark appears and swims towards the control center window. It doesn't swim, actually. It kind of just like floats through the water. And everybody just watches as it gets closer and eventually breaks through the window and the control center floods. One of the techs is eaten and Calvin and the other tech manage to get out. Meanwhile, Mike and Kay stay and fight the shark, and when it opens its mouth, they see that Fitzroyce's full body is in there, still fully intact, just hanging out in his mouth. Of course, Mike notices that he has the grenade on him. Mike uses a pole to pull the pin on the grenade, and he and Kay take cover as the shark explodes. And once again, this just incredibly realistic set of jaws and blood spatter comes at the screen, so we know the shark is dead. The final shot of this movie is Mike and Kay surfacing, and the dolphin surfacing as well, having survived their battle with the shark, and the movie ends.